Climate change is a challenge in every country, and the past G20 summit shows that even among world leaders, there is not a lot of consensus about what to do. And although Colombia generates only a small percentage of total global greenhouse gases, climate change is likely to hit this biodiverse country hard. They point out most of the population lives in the elevated Andes where water shortages and land instability are already a reality, and on the coast where the increase in the sea level and floods can affect key human settlements and economic activities. And worse, it's Colombia's campesinos who have already borne the brunt of a long conflict who are likely to be hit hardest. According to the Climate Change Vulnerability and Risk Analysis released in 2017 by the Hydrology, Meteorology and Environmental Studies Institute, climate change poses some risk for every single Colombian municipality, with about 10% facing every high climate change risk. Overall, the most significant consequences are likely to be food security, human habitat and infrastructure. Temperature in Colombia is expected to increase by 2% by the end of the century, according to the IDEAM. The Amazon and Caribbean regions can expect 10% less rainfall, while the Andean region can expect 30% more. That is going to mean sea levels rise and glaciers and nevadas drop, while paramos and other freshwater sources dwindle. That's why climate change was one of the priorities that Colombia Agriculture Society said that the newly elected government must incorporate in its agrarian policy. The organization's president, Jorge Enrique Bedoya, told Radio Colombia last year that the new Minister for Agriculture would need to work for an inclusive and fair countryside and to tackle climate change. Rural Colombia has always been affected by extreme weather events. But if conflict ceases to be the most prominent issue, the impact of climate change becomes harder to ignore. Colombia, as a member of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, has made significant achievements on climate change research, providing the national environmental system with several strategies to predict and mitigate the risk, organizing land use along more sustainable guidelines. SINA gives the country quite a robust environmental system, and it has produced a large raft of policies, plans and laws. These aim to not only protect the environment but to reduce the production of greenhouse gases and help territories adapt to extreme weather events. Nowadays, Colombia is committing to plant 180 million trees by 2022. Colombia told the annual meeting of the Tropical Forest Alliance, which took place in May, that this is a unique opportunity for Colombia to say stop and to commit to protecting our ecosystem. It's also a crucial opportunity to involve local farmers and communities who have historically been forgotten by the government. So finally, what can be done? There are a number of courses of action that would minimize the effects of climate change. For example, by switching to less intensive farming activities in at-risk areas or expanding the natural vegetation coverage to stabilize hillsides would mean less danger of landslides. Protection of the paramos as well as forest and water sources is essential, and is the need to reduce reforestation. Food security could be improved by combining modern and traditional agricultural activities, looking at more resistant species and using forest pasture systems for cattle.
There is hope in knowing that our generation is aware of the change that must be made and the urgency of it. Colombia is one of the most biodiverse countries in the world, and we have the privilege to get to know it as it is. But most importantly, we have the responsibility to protect it and raise our voices against activities that put our beloved ecosystems at stake.